2, 1. There we go. Welcome to the third Quantum Journeys Hypnosis Academy Business Mastery Series. We're on the 15th of every month. We're going to introduce a different graduate and learn how they're using Quantum Journeys Hypnosis in their professional practice. So what they're niching in, what their specialties are, what other modalities, if any, they're incorporating, how they're finding their clients. And the whole purpose of this series is designed to inspire and to motivate you, to give you new ideas or new ways of looking at your existing practice. So today's graduate and business owner, longtime business owner, is Lisa Morgan, also multi-business owner. And she's going to share with us her tips and suggestions for creating a winning mindset. And before I give it over to her, I want to tell you, like, this is why she's an expert on this. I don't know how many of you know this about her, but she was Miss Britain Fitness Champion. She still does fitness and personal training to this day. She was a fitness journalist for UK Magazine, owner of 4 successful businesses. And then the thing that I kind of admire her the very most for is that she took a road trip across the entire continent of Australia by herself after moving to Australia, I might add, from the UK, okay, by herself. And she literally manifested her current life in this beautiful little lakeside cottage that has become sort of a healing spa of sorts, where she can bring in all of her different modalities and tools and wisdom and knowledge, techniques, etc. So she is living proof of this winning mindset that she has. And so with all of that, are you blushing yet, Lisa?
Yeah.
Take it away, darling. It's all yours now. I'm going to mute myself. If you guys could mute yourselves, that'd be great. I think Sarah's the only one who's not.
Okay. Well, yeah, thanks, Kryssa. Yeah, it's always, whenever you speak and you remind me of what I've done, it does, yeah, just cement that I have got a very strong mindset. But the journey has not been an easy one. I initially went into, just very briefly, I got into hypnosis, been into health, fitness, massage for 30 odd years, and then had an accident in 2019. Didn't think I'd be able to do any of my physical work, so I got into hypnosis, in which I studied a modality of that, and I was full on, it was COVID time, so I was online all the time, and was doing really well and getting really great success. I ended up attracting more coaching with it. I think because of my life coach background, I was working a lot helping people set up their businesses. But there was something in it that just, I wasn't rocketing with my business. And at the time I couldn't understand why, because the results were getting there, everything was great. But it's because I was personal training, I was massaging, I was doing the hypnosis for healing people, helping with them, plus the business coaching. And when I was going out there marketing myself, everybody was saying, well, it was like, who are you? And I had employed a few business coaches myself. And it was all about, you're too diluted. And I listened to that. And it was just, then in the end, I didn't believe in any of it. Even though I knew I was good at what I did, when I was actually putting myself out there, I didn't actually believe in any of it. And plus, I've had a very judgmental mother growing up. So her voice was in my ear a lot. And I have done a lot. I've written books, everything. I was just, oh yeah, I'm going to do that. It was really that shiny object syndrome. And it didn't give me that laser focus to, exponentially blow up my business, which I've seen so many therapists, coaches do in the same amount of time that I've been on, in my business. And it's like that, they're no better than me. Why are they doing it? It's because they just focused on the one thing. So then I had to sit back and work out why. And a lot of it was, there was the self-belief thing, which I've done a lot of work on. But also it was that thing of being online all the time in front of the computer. I am nature girl. I just love being out in nature. And I struggled in the end. So I then took on a job as a contractor for bodywork. massaging, healing in a local business. And because I was treating it like my own business and giving 100% to it, I ended up doing more time there than my own business. So my own business dropped back. So as I say, it's really been a roller coaster. But then decided can't do that anymore. It's too exhausting. So I then came up with the idea, every time I put my heart and soul into something I love, I really, really, it manifests and it works. So that's what made me decide to use my home as my brand, hence Lakeway Cottage. Within Lakeway Cottage, I now do hypnosis, I do body work, I train, I have group. Yesterday, I started a new Chi Awakening group, which is meditation and Chi movement, and then coffee and community chat afterwards. And I think I've got to say, had I not studied quantum journeys hypnosis, I probably wouldn't be where I am now, because what that modality did for me was give me it was like the answer to all my dreams. The other one was a little bit rigid. I studied in rapid transformational therapy, which I think has, got some amazing parts to it, but there was other parts that I really didn't like. Whereas with the quantum journey hypnosis, my whole business incorporates that. Even my fitness side of things incorporates that. With at the end of a fitness session, I'll let them do a meditation or a relaxation, and I bringing in the light and connecting with the sun and the earth and everything. So yeah, I have now created a brand where quantum journey hypnosis is my foundation, I suppose, that I can bring all of my other modalities, all of my other skills together in one place, where my house is my brand, and I believe in my home because I love it dearly. So everything comes from love, and clients are just flowing. It's so amazing. I don't fight for them. And it's in the local, so that is going to be my base. And then now, with the help of Kryssa's workshop next week, my online will change as well, because I'll be including AI and it won't be quite such hard work. So yeah, and I also am running retreats and things like that. So it's a lot more hands-on and face-to-face work, I suppose, but not one-on-one necessarily. Yeah, I hope that explains. Sorry,
How do you handle like the work-life balance when your professional life is in your home? This is something I've been meaning to ask you anyway. It's a brilliant idea, because I've seen pictures of your home and it is gorgeous. I mean, it looks like a healing retreat, but you do live there.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Fortunately, I've got a studio at the back of the house. And most of my work, well, all of my work is within the studio. But I do sort of open my home up. My clients do become, without crossing boundaries, it's a healing space. So I suppose I am very open with sharing my home. I don't sort of think, oh no, I don't want people looking in there, or I don't want people going in there. Yeah, oh God, you want to have a look at my, you want to have a look at my bedroom? Yeah, sure, I've got beautiful artwork there, have a look. So I'm very, very open with it. And I find that when people come in, the first thing anybody says when they first walk in is, oh my goodness, the energy is just so beautiful. And I think it's because there's so much love in here. Love for my home. I've worked on myself, so I've got a lot of self-love, and I love it when people appreciate it and love it. So and I'm actually quite good with boundaries as well. I haven't got an issue saying to somebody, no. Yesterday, for example, I did the Chi Awakening thing, and it came to 9 o'clock. I said, right, come on, time to go. I've got other things, I won't let them guide me. I take control of,
Yeah, that's pretty
everything.
important if you're doing it from your own home.
Yeah.
I have a question that Kelly has no idea that I'm going to ask this on her behalf, but Kelly, who actually lives in Wilmington and is a graduate of QJHA, she is a massage therapist primarily, and she's moving into becoming more involved in hypnosis because, as you know, massage therapy is very hard on your body. and
Yes.
feeling it after, so many years. And she's like, I really need to do something that's not quite so like physically labor intensive. But she's not sure how to broach that with her clients. And so since you're doing all these different things, how do you let them know that you do have all these different modalities available?
I probably, if I was Kelly, I would introduce a chakra massage in which the clients are still getting what they're used to, but you're introducing the more spiritual side of things. And I find the massaging so much easier once I've given them a chakra clearing anyway, because they're not holding on to the stress. So I would start off by introducing like a chakra massage and talking about chakras and the body and the energy points. And then from there, if people, that's how I get my clients. Then I'd say, I've also, if you're interested, I've got the most amazing quantum journey sessions that I do that, will take you, and I explain a little bit of that. And some people, if they're into chakra massage, then they would be, more prone to take that up. So I don't go straight in. I gently, incorporate spirituality within my massage. And it's funny because even at the day spa that I'm working at now, I get so many chakra massages.
Interesting. Does
which
it ever go
which
the other
they
way around? Do you ever get a hypnosis client who is then interested in doing
yeah
body work? Yeah. Okay.
yeah
Okay. Yeah.
yeah
Because I've
yeah
been
that's what
doing
people.
some more just training with medical intuition and energy work. Not Reiki, it's a different type of energy work. But I haven't quite gotten to the point where I'm like ready to do that professionally. But I guess I'm asking for myself too, like to bridge that connection. So I like
Yeah,
your approach.
I
Yeah.
I think what I create either programs or a package that
Mhm.
incorporates the two, and then it's like anything, as you know, it's the marketing of it. So I look at it, they tend to be for people who are just dipping their toe into the spirituality or dipping their toe into hypnosis.
Right.
Then it's, would you like to explore, or are you finding that you're getting stuck or you're getting reoccurring lower back problems? It may not be a physical ailment, it might be that you're not feeling safe, or you're not connected. Let's explore this
Do you
with
have a
my
way,
chakra
like
massage.
in your website, do you have a way that it filters people into where they need to go? Like if they're interested in this, they'll end up here. If they're interested in that, they'll end up here, kind of.
Yeah,
Because yeah, that's
yeah,
what I was looking at doing. Because I agree with you. When you try to do too many things, jack of all trades, or Jane in our case, and people look at the website, it's like too much information. And they're
yeah,
like, oh, well, that's not for me because they don't see their thing. Um, and so I like the idea of having like just a way to sort of like, do you have this? Do you have this? Do you have this? And then it just sort of
yeah,
funnels them where they need to go, and then all
yeah.
of the marketing messaging can do that too, wherever you're putting it out.
That's right.
Having like a
Yeah,
little quiz or something where it just asks like certain questions and then it just sort of filters them over into like, oh, well, then this is the camp that you would, belong in, or
yeah.
this.
I've not got a quiz. I mean, I've literally just set the website up. I only finished it a couple of weeks ago. But mine is like a photograph of the house and then talking about the house of healing, the home of healing.
Oh,
And
beautiful.
then underneath, I've got, body work, mindset, and gosh, whatever the other one is. But three, my brain's gone.
Hypnosis,
Body work,
maybe?
mindset. No, because that comes under mindset.
Oh,
Oh, groups. I've got groups,
okay.
group things. Yeah. So and then and then there's events down there. So there's lots to sort of pick in, and then it goes deeper and deeper.
Okay, so just like they'll look at it and be like, oh, this sounds like what I'm interested in, then move
Yes.
to there. Okay. Thank you. You can take over now. I just had some specific questions that I knew I wanted to have you address for myself and also for Kelly and probably other people who are in here too. And this is going to be shown to everybody after today. So all of the other students and grads will get a chance to benefit from your lovely expertise. Um,
Yeah. Well, rather than rambling, is there anybody that's got a specific question on, face to face, or just incorporating things in so that I can then expand from there? No?
You do have a background both with the local in-person and the online, because you were doing almost exclusively local, then almost exclusively online, and then kind of getting back into doing online again now that you've gone back to the local stuff, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
oh, and Julia does have, what is chakra massage, please?
Okay, so my chakra massage, I absolutely love it. Chris will know this because we do it all the time in the healing group, and Shelley. I'm a big one with the pendulum. The pendulum and me, you know, we work well together. So I get a few questions from the client initially, so I get a feel of them, and then I use my pendulum to go through their chakras just to see what's blocked. I don't take long. I just literally go through them, see what's blocked. Then I do some healing and intention work before I start, before I start massaging. And then, so basically what we're doing, I'm finding what chakras are blocked. I then heal and flow. I then can pick up what's going on with their body as well. Not everyone, some people are a bit more closed, but 9 times out of 10, and the more I'm doing it, the more I'm picking up on what I feel, is going on from a physical point of view, but also from an energy point of view. And then I massage all of because obviously if we've got blocks in our chakras, it's energy blocks, and you can release the energy, but it's still in the body. So I then do somatic work and release those blocks from the body. And then I'm also a sound healer. So I then either use my Koshi bells or my Tibetan bowl, and I just go around them with some beautiful sound healing, just to break up any of the negative that's left.
Mhm.
And then I check again with my pendulum, and 100% of the time the pendulum is swinging so big because their energy points are open. So it's a really beautiful, and everyone just comes away, because it's not like a really deep tissue and it's not painful, but it's just as effective. You feel like you've had a 2-hour massage with the chakra massage. It's beautiful.
I've often thought, though I haven't done it yet, but that incorporating the Temple of Healing with somatic work could be really powerful.
Yeah,
Because
well,
you
that's
have
what I
them in
do.
a very mild state of trance that doesn't have to be super deep. It could be mild to moderate on your massage table. And then they're having communication with their inner healer that they're sharing with you while you're doing the pendulum work or the energy work or the somatic work. That way they're participating, and their higher self is involved and their inner healer is involved. I've often thought that. It's just that I don't do massage and somatic work.
Yeah,
But
beautiful.
for people that do, that could be a whole niche unto itself, just doing
Yeah,
that.
I'll let you know. I'll do that with my next one.
Yeah, totally. Let me know. I have all
Yeah.
sorts of ideas on how you can use quantum journeys, hypnosis to niche in different things. And then, like, you don't have to use all the doorways. If all you
Mm.
want to do is Temple of Healing stuff, that's all you got to do. You can help with chronic pain, with chemo, with, stuff like that. And especially if you have a background with doing somatic or massage or, things that have to do with the actual body. I feel like that would be a great niche. So
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
let me know how that
But
goes.
for those who don't, obviously that wouldn't be relevant, but I think probably I'll share a little bit on how to attract um, clients if you're not doing online, or if you want to have some face-to-face, or if you want to run some group programs. I found creating a 6-week program around a particular niche. And because, as I said, I don't niche in anything in specific, as long as your marketing is right, I don't think you need to. I think as long as you market for that particular thing, and you're doing that for so long until you've got the program out there. I think the lack of niche is when you're putting one post out about stop smoking, and then the next post is about healing your broken heart. Then it becomes confusing. If you don't want to be that person who is known for imposter syndrome, or that person who's known for giving up smoking, but you want focus on the niche at the time, And then I've always created and been really successful online and in-house, a 6-week program. One of my programs was, well, Kryssa and I did one, Sacred Currency. We did it, we joined and hosted a Sacred Currency online. I've also done a couple of healing ones here. And I bring in all of the modalities that I love and create a subject with a different modality. So you've got, let's say, I'm doing a wellness one. So the first one might be teaching people about, you know, your mind-body connection and belief system. So I teach them all about that. And then I do might go back into a little bit of regression work on that first session. So we're releasing those beliefs. And then the next one might be, you know, let's create a better future. So I might do vision boarding and then going into your future self and continue that. So you've got 6 weeks. And from that template, I've actually created probably about 6 or 7 different 6-week programs that I've taken to retreats and done them over 6 days, or I've done them over 3 days and done sort of 2 a day kind of thing. And I've found that once you've got the structure there, I think that's where for me, if I've got structure and I know what I'm doing, I succeed in it. And I think a lot of us get overwhelmed with what do we do to actually get forward. So having that structure and the strategy, which I'm sort of a Capricorn from London, very grounded, and I need that, you know, I need that structure. However, I still like the freedom of things. So as long as I've got the structure of the program that I am, you know, putting out there, and it doesn't matter what the subject is, the structure's still the same. And as I say, you can take that anywhere. You can go into yoga studios and say, oh, I've got, you know, a 6-week or a 3-week, whatever program you've got, and attract people that way.
Is that how you're finding different clients for each program, is like physically going to these places and saying, hey, I have this 6-week program that I'm doing, or I have this retreat that I'm doing, or because that's one thing that I think a lot of people struggle with, is that they have people in their sphere, but everything that they're promoting ends up being promoted just to those same people over and over and over.
Yeah. Where I've got a lot of business from recently is my local community Facebook page. So there's about 2,000 people in my local community, and once a week you're allowed to post a business thing. And I started off with a special, and I started off with massage because I thought that's easier to promote. And from there, that was probably about 2 months ago. From there, I've probably got about 20 new people for massage. Of those 20 new people, I've got 8 that have moved on to other things, whether it be hypnosis or the other group programs that I'm running. So that's really good. I think the space that we are in online, when we go into our big groups, I think there's so much competition. Whereas if we go into like a community type space, and you're not just salesy, you know, you go in there and you're offering something to the community, and you're going in there with that mindset when you're writing your copy.
Absolutely.
I think you get more back. If you go in there just sales, or I need a client, I'm coming here to get clients, you just never will. I had a girl sign up for 3 sessions recently, and it was it was Sunshine Coast Spiritual Group. So it was just a spiritual group, and someone had asked about, I don't know, inner child work or something. This was months ago, and I answered, got nothing from there. And then out of the blue, sort of 2 months later, 2 or 3 months later, she said, oh, I saw your post. Can you tell me a little bit more about it? She's now 3 sessions in, and we're now going to be working together, collaborating. She's a young girl who's just about to certify in personal training. So I've suggested that we collaborate once a month, 2 hours. I work with her and mentor her to get her business up and running. And she works with me on Instagram because she's young and she knows how to make me look how you should look on Instagram.
Perfect.
So,
I need somebody
you know,
to do that for me too on Instagram.
yeah.
And I'm so glad that you brought up the non-salesy part. Although I do both, but like in the groups, I don't do any like other people's groups. That would just be very rude to come into somebody else's group and like be salesy and promotional and whatever, right? But I get more interest in those other groups because it is social media. Remember, there's a social component. We have to interact with other people. But like I'll pick up clients from I'm in this one group that's just like we just love all things Scotland. It has nothing to do with healing or spirituality at all. But they're humans and humans have issues. Like you can
Yeah,
go to a crochet group, go to whatever, kitty cat group. I'm in a few of those too. Um, But yeah, just like as people are just chatting about whatever, there's always some sort of like natural segue that you can bring up something like, oh, I had a client that experienced something like that.
yeah,
Bam, really? Their interest and curiosity is piqued. Well, what happened with them? What do you do? What kind of client? Like, what is your business? Anyway, so yeah, I'm so glad that you brought that up. And we're going to be going over that in the marketing thing too. But that is a super important thing. Also, picking up like just when you're going out grocery shopping or whatever. Like I was sitting in a lobby at a doctor's office and this mom came in and I think it was her shoes or something. I said, "Oh, those look really comfortable." When we started chatting and we found out that we have all these things in common, she asked me what I do. Now I'm seeing both of her grown kids as clients. I mean, just from, I really like those shoes. Where did you get those? You know? So like, don't be afraid to just, and I guess I run into people who are afraid to say that this is what they do. And if that's the case, I'm kind of confused as to why you're doing it. Like if you have any shame or secrecy or whatever, you know what I mean? I think that that's where your mindset stuff can really help. So with that, I'm going to redirect a little bit back to the winning mindset part because I think that it's not just mindset about being able to promote ourselves or having the worthiness to have a good business, but having the mindset that it's okay, beyond better than okay, to do what we do for a living,
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So what about
Well,
you?
I think,
Go ahead.
yeah, that all comes with belief in ourselves, and I think I'm going to throw it back here. Since I've done quantum journeys, that has given me the belief because it's so creative and it is more spiritual, which is me. I'm not really the clinical hypnotherapist. So when I see clinical hypnotherapists, I do have that little thing that I'm not quite good enough because it's not my style. And it's not that I don't get the results. It's not that I'm not as good, but it's just not my style. So doing the quantum journeys has allowed me to be a lot freer and given me, I think, a little bit more self-confidence in calling myself a hypnotherapist. But going back to winning mindset, it's for me, it's about self-belief and self-trust and self-love. It's three things. So you have to do that from a soul level, from from a grounds level, not in business. That comes later. Every single morning, as soon as I wake up, I press a button and I have a 7-minute meditation, like little shake up my voice of visualization of my future life. That is what wakes me up. Because I've got that vision in my brain, that takes me to the next step of my daily ritual. So I listen to that. I then get up. I've got 2 dogs barking for their breakfast, but they can wait. I go straight to the bathroom and I tongue scrape. Tongue scrape, if you don't do it, it's amazing. It gets rid of all the toxins in your body that you're creating overnight, and you just feel brighter eyed and whatever. So I tongue scrape. I then go into the kitchen. I put the kettle on, feed the dogs, have lemon water. That is my every single day I do that. And because I'm doing it and I know it's good for my health, it makes me feel good. And it gives me that self-trust that I'm looking after my body. I then body brush, shower, water the plants, and get on with the day. So that is my little daily ritual of self-care every single day.
Can
And it
you give
makes me
us
feel
an
good.
example of the 7-minute recording that you do? I know you
Yeah.
already gave me one, but it was so brilliant, and I would love other people to like kind of get a
Okay.
feel
So
for what.
it would be like you're waking up this morning feeling so energized. As you open your eyes, you're looking at your beautiful dream cottage, the cottage that you've created yourself with the work that you've done and the vision that that you had 10 years ago, and you're now living that. So think what's going to happen in another 10 years. You're going to have clients want to come to you because you're so joyful, and they walk away with results. The money in your bank, you don't even look at it anymore because you just know it's going to be there. You feel safe, you feel happy, you're just so pleased with how life is going, and you're so grateful. Your dogs are around you, they love you, your friends are there. So it's that kind of thing.
I
It's not
love
like
it. So you start
slow.
off with like, here's what you've already created and
Yes.
where you came from. So like
Yeah.
gratitude, gratitude, gratitude for everything that you've brought into this into this present. And then like
Yeah.
imagine how great it's going to be. And then talking
Yeah.
like, here's the path to get there. It's brilliant. I love that. I love that.
Yeah. And I've also, so that's for about 7 minutes. And I've also got a 1 minute vibe boost, which is on a similar kind of thing, but it's only 1 minute. And I listen to that 3 times a day. So what it does, it just reminds me why I'm doing it. So I never ever feel unmotivated anymore. I just never feel unmotivated because I've always got that vision, my vision. And I remember I created an app for my Bodywise about 4 years ago. And within that, I remember we did a visualization there. And that vision has always been in my mind of waking up, going to my kitchen. I've got a veggie garden. I've got all those things and it's all coming into fruition. It didn't happen overnight. And I think that's the thing as well. I came into this business and saw everyone really successful. Everyone was blowing up over COVID. What I didn't know at the time is they were either into marketing or they were very, very good at sales to begin with. Even if they were therapists, their background was sales, their background was marketing, or they'd been a very unsuccessful coach, or not unsuccessful, but just a normal coach or therapist for 10 years. And then all of a sudden it's that they built and built and built. And I think that gave me a lot of belief and understanding that you can't do it overnight and don't expect to. So just love. I think that's probably the biggest gift I can give you today. If you love everything you do, then it will happen. And stay structured. You do need strategy and structure, otherwise you're all over the shop. But everything
That's
I do
me,
now, I
by the
love it.
way, because I have like some sort of natural rebellious thing against strategy and structure. If you try to rein me in with strategy and structure, my little inner teenage rebel comes out and says, no. So I have to like work with her very nuanced in order to keep her from like blowing things up. Yes, I
Yeah,
know. I do hypnosis with her all the time. Anyway, so, but I love that you have figured that out. And I think that there's no one size fits all for everyone, but for the people that that really does work for, that's great. There was something else that you just said that made, I was like, oh, the marketing thing. Yes. So I was seeing all these people during COVID that were suddenly blowing up in the online space and just becoming really like, and I was like, wow, that was fast. Um, and I was like, how are they doing that? Like, I don't get it. Like, I'm getting the results. People like what I'm doing, but I can't seem to do that. And what I kind of concluded, and this is not obviously like a black or white situation, but not everybody who's a great hypnotist is a great marketer, and not everybody who's a great marketer is a great hypnotist, but you can't always tell like who is who, because if you're a great marketer, you might appear to be a great hypnotist, but maybe you're not actually getting the results. So what I learned from all of that is to not compare myself. Like
yes,
I'm on my own journey. You're on your own path. So looking at these people and being like envious of where they were, it was a pointless endeavor, because what I'm doing is not going to be what they're doing or what you're doing or what Shelly's doing or Leslie or Anna or Cece or Sarah or Holly or Julia. Like we're all on our own path and we're all finding we're using QJH as a thing that like we're pulling other modalities. Like I know Anna does theta healing as well, right? And Shelley has so many years of hypnotherapy experience from all different sorts of backgrounds and schools and stuff, and energy work. She does Reiki. She's, I think, a mat level 3, 2, something. Anyway, she's up there. 3. Yeah. So there, I think that's as high as you can go, right? Yeah. So everybody's bringing all these different, things in. Nobody's going to be on the same path. And even if we're doing the same kinds of things, we all have a different audience. People are
Yeah.
going to be resonating to our energy, to our voice, to the way we look when we're doing a little video intro, to what we're writing, to like everything, right? Not everybody's going to be drawn to this person over that person. So anyway, I'll get off my little soapbox, but I do know that that was the killer of
Yeah.
moving the needle on my business, was that I was looking at what other people were doing and thinking that I was failing for a while there, and like, why can't I do that? And just giving up on looking at it in a competitive sense at all was what really started to move the needle, and just like embrace my own unique way of doing things. And bam, it changed everything.
Yeah. I think as well, the other thing for me was the light bulb moment, is when I, for even receiving hypnosis, when I first came into studying it at, what I saw, it was almost like the Jesus effect, miraculous. With the school that we studied with, it was bam, they were healed. And I expected that's what would happen with my clients. And I think I didn't have the experience or the confidence at the time. So I would sort of hold
They
back a
also
little
didn't
bit.
do follow-ups in that particular school, so we don't know if
No,
they
exactly.
healed.
No,
Like
exactly.
6 months
Yeah.
later, were they still really?
Yeah, exactly. And I think for me, it was like, oh my God, say they don't get their money's worth. Say that, I'm charging, a good amount, but they don't get what they need from it. Say I don't heal them. Say they don't lose their block. And that really did hold
Yeah,
me back.
all the ego.
And I've learned that the healing journey, no, if they've got real deep setted beliefs and blocks, probably 3 sessions, they're not going to heal. However, it will certainly get them up a few steps on their journey. And since I've understood that, I'm a lot more confident in my work, that I'm not
Collaboration.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And
You're
it's
not the
just
star of the session.
moving
At
forward.
the school that
Mm,
we went to, she was always the star of the session.
yes,
But I
yes,
feel like if we put the client as the main character, as the star
yes,
of the session, and we're collaborating with them, absolutely. Yeah, because I mean, when everything is on our shoulders, then we're taking credit for their wins.
yeah,
That's not fair to do.
no,
They deserve that because they're the ones who put the work in, to actually make the changes within themselves. But that also means that we're taking responsibility when they don't make the changes.
yes, yeah. It's too much pressure. It's too much pressure. So
Yeah.
if we, as you say, we're collaborating with a client, the client is doing the work. The client is the one who is going to heal themselves. All we are offering are the tools. And I think, again, with quantum journeys, plus I do a little EFT. I mean, there's lots of modalities that I do. Again, with my very first, and not that I'm putting down RCT, I'm not. It's just it's just my experience.
It's just a little bit more rigid and
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. And a client will come in, and if I couldn't get them into a deep enough trance, no, it didn't work. And then I'm like, oh my God, I'm not very good at this. I can't even get them deep enough. Whereas with QJH or EFT or all of my other modalities, if a person isn't very good at getting into a trance, which they're probably not going to be if they haven't had hypnosis, that comes with trust and time. I've got so many other things up my sleeve that I can build that trust, and they're going to get a result. They're going to get a small win or a big win maybe on that first session, but it doesn't have to be the hypnosis they've necessarily booked in for, because they're not quite ready for it. They might need to
I think
lead
the
into.
muscle testing is the thing that really helps a lot of people who
Yeah, great tool.
don't feel like they're going into a deep enough state of trance. And I never say like what's deep enough. I'm like, do you feel like it's up to the client, right? Because not all clients are going to experience hypnosis the same way. But if they feel like they're not going deep enough, and then we do some ego states transformation on them and then muscle test them again, and then they get a yes, right there, that is a convincer for them on their own. And they're like, oh, well, I guess I'm going deep enough now because my body said so, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah. So yeah, so it comes with experience, I think. With and as I say, you have brought that. And what I was going to say, and you said, no, I know I've done hypnosis when you were talking about structure, and
Yeah.
you have built the most amazing model in your academy that doesn't come unstructured. So I don't believe you when you say you might not like the thought of structure, but you do it, Kryssa. You do.
Well, I guess I come at it in a different way then, because I never like made like a mind map or a chart or whatever. I was just like, well, it makes sense to have it this way. And then I actually changed it a little bit because I was like, no, this makes better sense. But it was more like an intuitive thing. It wasn't like
Yeah,
a,
intuitive structure, but it's still structure.
yeah. If you
Yeah.
try to make me stick to like a task list, I will go into procrastination mode so fast. But if you just give me a whole unstructured day where my little
Yeah.
ADHD brain can go all over the place, I will get so much done. I will create an entire new universe before the day's end. But if you
Yeah.
tell me to create a universe, I will do anything but. It's very frustrating. It's executive stuff, but whatever, the executive function stuff. And I don't even want to call it a disorder because, like you said, I do end up creating these things. I just have to come about it in a different way. And that's okay. We all have different brains, right? It's not like mine doesn't work. It just works in a very squirrely way that I have to like, it's like my consciousness and my brain are two different things. And sometimes my consciousness is like, really, brain? Like, can't you just do it the normal way? And my brain is like, no. So what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Um, but I have heard great things about your business coaching. I don't know. Do you still do that? Is that something that
Yeah.
you still offer?
Yeah.
I
Yeah. I
wasn't
love
sure
it
if that was
actually.
something you wanted to like help out with the graduates with or not. And if
Yeah,
so,
absolutely. I think I can't because I come things from things very logically, and I'm not. I was going to say I'm not very intellectual. That isn't true. Well, no, I'm not intellectual, but I'm savvy. You know, I think outside the box, and I can look at someone's business and help. And this is what I've done many a time: help create a business model for them. You know, coming from
that's what,
them, it will be
yeah. I
intuitive
mean,
from
like
them.
Nizam said that about you because he was kind of all
Yeah,
over the place. And then you just came in and you were like, oh, here's what you need to do. And you just dialed it down for him. So
yeah.
if that's something that you have time for or you're interested in doing for the graduates. I think that that could be really invaluable.
Yeah, absolutely. And it doesn't have to be overwhelming. And I'm quite, I think for me, with the clients that I've worked with, what they've always said about me, I'm very firm, but I'm very kind. And I give the accountability. And I know for myself that if I've got somebody that's given me the structure, so the ideas come from you, I then put them in to make sense. I then create a schedule or a task list for you to do that week or whatever time scale we've agreed to, and then that gets done, and then we look at that, and once you stop those building blocks, all of a sudden, I mean, look at Nazam, his business really has taken off, and yet and he's not the only one that. But yeah, you've mentioned him, and he's killing it now. And
Yeah.
when he came to me, he was hoping, I always remember, he was hoping that I didn't turn up the second session. He was hoping I would cancel because he was so scared because I was firm on the first one. But by the end of
I've
it,
heard
it
that
was,
about you too. You're not going to let
yeah,
anybody get away with anything. You're going to actually hold them accountable. So
yeah. Well, you want
I'm
results.
scared of you,
If you're paying for
honestly, Lisa.
results, I'll give you results, but all I can do is guide you. You're the one that's actually got, you've got to do the work, and you've got to feel it, and you've got to want it. And I think what I help with is the mindset to believe in, so as much as the business structure, I'm very good. That young girl that I was telling you about, she came for a second session the other day, the PT one. And as she walked out the gate, she just said, oh my God, I believe every time I come here, I just believe that I can take on the world. And I was like, oh, she's only young, 23, starting her life out. Oh, she
I
was a
know,
bit
if
broke
only
when
we
she was
had that level of like belief in ourselves at 23,
yeah,
you know?
yeah, I know. But
People
it's
always say that it comes from confidence. We hear that in our industry a lot. I actually think it comes from just like self-belief, self-worth,
yeah, self-trust. And,
uh,
and that comes
and
from
courage and curiosity.
following through in what you say you're going to do.
Mm.
So that is why I do my daily ritual every single morning. They're tiny little things that take me 15, 20 minutes, but it's like a little tickler. I mean, I've got it there.
Oh, wow.
So there's my little daily routines. And then for my work, I've got my daily planner. So what do I need to do today? So I've got my big goals list of what I want out of life. And
You
then
are
I
like
break
the
it
woman that I
down.
wanted to be when I grew up, back when I was a teenager and like young adult. I was like, I would buy daily planners and journals like crazy, but then like 3 pages in, I kind of give up. Now I know it's because of the whole ADHD thing. But
Yeah,
but yeah, no, like I wanted to be just like you. But what's interesting, even though I have this whole like executive functioning thing, I am really great with morning rituals, the morning routine. And it's
yeah,
because I have discovered on the mornings that I don't, I never quite feel like I get into the groove of the day. But on the mornings that I do, it really helps catapult me into just like a positive mindset for the day. And
yeah,
I've noticed the difference enough times because I have allowed that inner rebel to sometimes take over and like stay in bed until 8 instead of getting up and watching the sunrise. And I just like the whole rest of the day, I'm just a little bit like not quite fully present or something. So yeah, and we have similar morning rituals. I do start off with either self-hypnosis or meditation, the hemi-sync things,
mm,
gateway experience ones usually, um, and some stretching and stuff. I don't do the lemon water. I'm a coffee girl.
so am I.
Shelly,
I had that after the
Shelly and
lemon
I both.
water.
Yeah, like I'm not going to be able to do much of anything else unless I have that coffee. Or I can sometimes have tea instead, but it's got to have some caffeine. But yeah, so I spend like my morning routine typically takes 2 hours. So I get up pretty early for it, just so I don't have to rush it. The
Yeah,
rest of the day is a crazy ass free for all. But the first 2 hours, I start off pretty structured.
I think as well for me, it's very much I often it was that lack of self-belief and lack of safety financially and I mean, I know that there are a few single girls here. That was the other thing that I found as well. These girls or these coach women, and again I'm generalizing here, but a lot of them that were taking off really quickly were in a relationship, and I think
There
that
was
makes
two
a lot of
incomes, two
difference.
people having
There were
income.
two
Yeah.
incomes, but
It
also
does make a
when
difference.
we're having a bad day, there's no one just to put their arm around us and say, it's all right, babe, you'll be fine. We've got to do that ourselves. And if we're already feeling down, it's very difficult. So I think that's where I got a lot of the inner strength coming through, that self-talk. I never ever talk badly about myself. So much so that I look at my body and I go, oh my God, I love my body. I'm looking amazing for my age. And then the other day I caught myself in the mirror and it was like, geez, I'm going to rephrase that. I love my silhouette. I didn't actually look quite as toned as I thought I did from a distance without glasses, but I still love it. And I sort of make fun of it and I never criticize myself. I love who I am, and not in a braggy way or an egoic way. I genuinely love who I am because that's what I give out.
Well,
And
this
I
is
think that makes
your
so
body
much
is your vessel. It's your gift, right? So we
difference.
need to love it.
Yeah.
I look at it like before we were born, you know, we're told by God, source, whatever you want to call it, like, okay, you're gonna get to come to this planet. We're gonna give you a body. It's all yours. It's your body. You get to keep it the whole time. So take really good care of it. and give it love, just like you would a pet or any, a plant, anything, right? And you're like, yeah, I'm so excited. I get to have a body. This is going to be great. And you can tell too, because little babies are so excited to have their body. They're not like, oh my God, I'm fat. They're like, oh, look, toes. Those are great. Like everything is just so exuberant and just excited and happy. And then somewhere along the way, we start identifying so much with our body instead of it being this gift that we've been given to take care
Yeah.
of, to nurture and to love and to treat well. We start punishing it and like, all the stuff. So
Yeah.
I
No,
love
absolutely.
your approach to it. The like, and I think, yes, the silhouette. I can agree
Yeah,
with that. If I stand back
I've
far enough, I'm like, that is a lovely silhouette,
I've
Kryssa.
got a great silhouette.
Turn the lights down a little, stand back a few feet. Yeah.
Just very quickly, because we're running out of time. I know Leslie mentioned, am I going to talk about retreats, which I haven't yet, but I also run Bali retreats once a year. I started last year. We've got another one coming up in May. And if anybody does want anything about, sorry, it's a bit self-promotion here, but if anybody is interested in that, it's all the wellness. And I do bring in QJH, and I collaborate with the yoga
Is it women
instructor.
only?
Just beautiful. Women only. And if
Make
you're
sure we
coming from
say
the
that.
States, yeah, women only. And if you're coming from the States, it works out so cheap with the US dollar to the Australian dollar. It's really, I think it works out about $1,500 for the week, and that includes everything. And the food is beautiful. It's a 5-star accommodation. It's just stunning. It's absolutely, and it's just, we go e-biking, water ceremony, meditation and healing every day, yoga every day. The food is healthy. It's just beautiful. Yeah. So
I'm
yeah,
interested. Yeah.
you should come. You'd love it. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. You'd have so much fun. So much fun. But that's what, hypnosis. That's what I suppose I was saying at the beginning. I brought hypnosis and all of my modalities to create the life I wanted to create, because 5 years ago on my wish list was to run retreats.
And
And
it's
I've
so
done 5.
brilliant the way you've done that, honestly. The fact that you have, instead of niching in any one thing, you've made the space the niche.
Yes.
That I think that you're one of the only people I've ever heard of that's doing that, but like it makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. Because now it doesn't have to be marketing about this, that, and the other. It's the healing space itself. I
Yes.
so love that. Yeah. Brilliant. Like, good job. Kudos, Lisa.
Thank
Yay. Round of
you.
applause. Like, you're awesome. That's why I wanted to have you on here. So, because, get people like thinking, like, oh, I don't have to just do it this way. I could do it this other way or this other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I'm not very good at selling myself. I know I'm confident, but I don't always feel comfortable selling myself, which is why I've always branded programs and things like that.
And having other people promote you for you is always going to actually be more effective in the public sphere. So like if I'm talking you up to somebody else, that hits different than if you're talking yourself up.
Yeah.
Which is why I have ambassadors. Because I don't always want to have to be the one out there like being my own cheerleader. It does get uncomfortable. It's hard.
Yeah.
It was one of the hardest things I had to kind of get over, like with my own mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get it.
But
I'll toot your
I
horn.
think,
We can toot
I
each
think,
other's horns, all of us.
yeah, well, we do. And as you know, I am one of your biggest fans. I watch you and
Right
just think,
back
oh
at
my
you,
God,
sister.
amazing. She's amazing. I really, but and we're very similar, but very different. I think we've got similar values
Mhm.
and similar beliefs.
And missions. I think we have similar
And
missions on this
mission is
planet.
the word. Yeah, we've got very similar
There is a little
missions,
different, but yeah.
but yeah, we do different. Well, you're a geek and I'm not. I think that's the difference.
I'm a total geek. I try to like tone it down so I don't really look like a geek though. I come across all bohemian, but I'm really underneath the bohemian thing. There's the heart of a
You're a
geek.
boho geek.
A bow geek.
Yeah, boho geek.
That's funny. I know I should be wearing like the horn rim glasses and stuff, but anyway. Thank you so much. It is a mutual admiration. I just absolutely adore everything that you're doing. And I look very forward to checking out the retreats. I just need to find a kitty cat sitter. But maybe Shelly and I can both come.
Yeah. Oh my God, I'd love that.
And Anna's already so close. She could totally come. She's in Australia. Yeah. Bali's not
Yeah.
that.
What
Yeah.
part of Australia is it going to be in, Lisa?
No,
Bali.
it's in Bali.
Oh, Bali. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know they
Okay.
use Australian dollars there, but that's good to know.
No, they don't. They don't, but we're selling it from Australia.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, no, they do. Yeah,
I don't know
frog
what
brain.
it's called either, but
I should know, but I can't. Oh, rupee. Yeah,
oh,
Indonesian
oh,
rupee.
okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's so cheap out there. Oh my God. But the retreat is all inclusive. So all you pay for is your flights and the retreat, and then a little bit of spending money. Everything else, all your fire ceremonies and water temple and everything. I'll pop the link. I'll send you the link. It's just beautiful. It's such a we loved it last year.
I remember
beautiful.
your photos, and I've been blessed. I did a retreat on Bali. It was 15 years ago, but it was spectacular. It was just such a special place to do a retreat. The people were so beautiful.
I know. Yeah.
Such a sacred energy on the whole island.
Oh, that's going to be what I'm manifesting now that you girls come to my retreat.
Yeah, count me in. Count me in. I'm down. All right. Well, thank you so much, Lisa. Do we have any other last minute questions at all for Lisa? Or comments or anything? No? Okay. Thank you so much. This will be on our private YouTube channel for QJH, but I will pop the link into the group and then email out the link for the replay. So that you have it at all times. Okay. Mwah. Thank you everyone for coming.
Thank you so much, Lisa.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Thanks, girls.
Thanks.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Night.
Bye.
Thank you.
Everybody else. Okay, bye.
Bye. Bye.